I just ran my leg into a nettle. Oh, there's a bunch of nettles here. Well, here's an opportunity to talk about nettles and first aid for nettles. Let's look at one here. They can be hard to spot. Right here. See this little seed sac hanging off there? All along through it. What have you got? Opposite leaves, serrated edges. That's your stinging nettle right there. That's your stinging nettle. Here's a whole little grove of them. See, it's drooping stem. Notice how the leaves are always opposite. There's one on this side, then there's one on that side. There's one on this side, so there's one on that side. The leaves are serrated. They've got this kind of knife edge on them. And look at all those little seed pods hanging here. That is a nettle. So if it's a nettle, it will have a combination of all these traits and characteristics. The serrated leaves, opposite on a single stem. And if you still can't be certain and you really want to know, there is the 5-cent little brother test. And that is that you stop there and toss like a nickel into the suspected nettles. And then when your friend, little brother, whoever shows up, you surreptitiously direct their attention that way. And when they see it, and they go to grab it. That's the test. Just kidding. So basically you have 3 things you can do once you've been stung by a nettle. You can do nothing, you can scratch it, or you can do first aid. If you touch it in any way, rubbing, scratching, squeezing, something like that, all you're going to do is push the little barbs in farther. It's going to make it more painful, and it's going to make it longer lasting. So whatever you do when you're stung by a nettle, resist the urge to grab it. When you feel that sting, just don't touch it. Just, okay, you've been stung by the nettle, and in about 10 seconds, if you just grit your teeth a little bit, it starts subsiding. But you're going to feel it until you do first aid. First aid is simple. You're going to rinse it with some water. It won't work if you've already touched it. If you've already scratched it and rubbed it or something, then, you know, you probably just have to go home and take a shower. But if, you know, you don't touch it, and then this first aid will work. You rinse it with water. It takes about 15 seconds of a little stream of water. Let's have a look here. Let's go to my arm. So let's say that I've been stung right there. If I took a whole gallon of water and poured it on in one 5-second burst, all the water that went over here and all over the place didn't do anything. Only the water that hit that spot where the stinging nettle is actually going to do anything. So if you only have a little bit of water, you only want to use a little bit of water. And so this is how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to keep a little stream running there for at least 10 seconds. Just going to run that out. Since I only had half a bottle, I'll probably just use the whole thing. By this point, if it's cold water, at least cool water, you're probably 90% cured. That was about 15 seconds worth of water. I didn't use up the entire bottle. I still have some left. Still, do not touch it. Resist the urge to dry it off. Just let it dry off on its own. In a couple of minutes, the whole thing will be a distant memory. So you get stung. Step 1, don't touch it. Step 2, rinse it for at least 15 seconds. Step 3, continue to not touch it. If you did touch it, you'll go home and take a shower.